on. We have Anna Metcalf on the line of TradeOutLoud.com. Anka, how you doing?
Good morning, guys. I'm just enjoying your show. It's a great dose of marketino.
Okay.
Thanks, Doc.
You're all about trader education, and we'll get into that in a second. But you've been
Mhm.
involved in the markets for a while. Could you just give us your brief education and trading background?
Sure. I hold a master's degree from in international transaction and the stock market, and this is from Bucharest, Romania. This is in Europe. I'm originally from Europe, and I've worked in the bank and investment industry for many, many years in Europe and here in the U.S. And I started part-time trading, I would say, in 2003. That would be 2002, 2003, mostly in swing and position trading, and this is stock trading and forex as well. And in 2005, I decided to take it to day trading and trade full time. And believe it or not, it is the best decision that I've ever made. So very, very happy with that.
Okay, you say day trading. Now your time frame is, are you an actual like intraday trader? Are you doing more swing trading?
I
What's your
am
time
doing
frame?
both. Yes,
Both.
I am
Okay.
doing both. So I'm a very, very active trader. I day trade intraday chart. So I'm a gap trader
Oh,
as
Joel, like
well in the
that.
morning. Yeah. So that's why I really enjoy your show. Okay. And I also do intraday trades, and I usually like to follow the trend. And I kind of like select my stocks after 10 a.m. when the trend is somewhat established, and I look for entries on the 5 and 15-minute chart. But right off the bat, right off, you know, at the open, when I trade gaps, I zoom into the 1 and the 2-minute chart. So very, very small time frame. And I also swing trade as well.
Okay, so you trade stocks. Are you also active in the futures or options or foreign exchange?
Just Forex, just foreign exchange.
Okay, and so that's like a 24-hour market. I mean, are you up all night, or do you have
No.
no?
No, actually, I do trade the New York session, and I put my forex trades during the New York session. And of course, I like to focus on forex more on a larger time frame. So I'm mostly swing trading forex
Okay.
moves, and I focus more on the 1 hour and the 4 hour chart. That brings more clarity and more flexibility, and gives me some time to sleep.
What currencies are you trading?
I mostly focus on the euro dollar, a dollar yen. So the dollar pairs, Aussie dollar. I actually have a Aussie dollar trade that is going on right now, and I'm booking really nice profits on it. I'm bearish on it. And it's just flirting with that 90 cent area. So it really looks lower into the 89 cents, and even lower if we breach that area. So basically, dollar pairs, euro pairs is what I focus on. I only have 5 or 6 major currency pairs that I focus, so I keep it narrow.
Okay, so it sounds like you definitely take a technical aspect of your trading, but just just going back to individual equities. Do you follow the entire universe of stocks, or do you have like your 15, 20 go-to stocks that you concentrate on?
I follow the entire universe. I scan every night, and I scan every morning before the market opens. I You can use a scanner, okay?
What
Because I
scanners do you use? Just
um well, I use trade ideas.
okay, yeah.
Uh, I have been using trade ideas for many, many, many years, and I love it. I don't know if I got used to it, but I think it is an amazing scanner. And I do have, actually, I use 2 monitors just for scanning. So, I am that much of a stock addict.
How many
So,
positions do you have on at one time? It sounds like it
um,
sounds like you're a lot better than me. I get like three, four, five positions on, and I break out in a cold sweat. Sounds like you handle a lot of positions.
I do. For day trading, I sometimes have 3 or 4 positions, and for swing trading, I have on right now, I think close to 8 or 9 positions open.
Okay, so quite a few here, different ones. Now, when you're scanning, because I'm always interested in traders
Hmm.
that use scanners or filters, because I've got a couple of my own. I've developed some scanners of myself that I had some programs developed for me 4 or 5 years ago. But I've also used Matscan. I've used Trade Ideas in the past as well, and I've used NeoVest in the past. So, I like the scanners for the ideas. What are you looking for in your scanners? Are you looking for like breakouts, breakdowns? What kind of stuff are you filtering for?
Okay, so I do have tons of filters. First of all, I look at the open, I look for gaps. And the scanner sorts for me, gaps that meet my criteria. So I kind of like fine tuned it, and tweaked it exactly to meet my criteria. So I scan for gaps. I also scan for 15-minute trades. 15-minute bullish moves or 15-minute sell setups, breakouts and breakdowns for momentum trades as well. I think momentum trades are great at the open. They have odds of continuing, if they break resistance, let's say, and if you're in a
Right.
long position, yeah, they have odds of continuing higher if they're in the open and you have, the market on your side and all that good stuff. So momentum plays a big role for scalping, even for scalping opportunities. Or I just place, some very very strong trends on charts, on thumbnails, and I watch them throughout the day for pullbacks, especially on the 5 and the 15-minute chart.
So you're
Yeah.
so you're not necessarily looking to fade it. Like if you get a gap up in something, you're not you're just as prone to go. We refer to it as a gap and go, which Tesla was a great example of yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll look at it from both ways. Where hey, this thing's gapping, it's going, I'm going with it. And you also look to, and then on the other hand, you will say, okay, this is a little bit overdone here. I'm gonna wait for this to fill the gap.
Basically, yeah, I'm looking for support and resistance levels, and I'm looking to see, I'm looking to trade actually with the market. But with Tesla, like yesterday, Tesla is a perfect example of the gap and go, and it has set a definite support level. And and I was watching actually Tesla, and it had retraced. I believe I don't have a chart right here in front of me, but I believe it was on the weekly chart. It had a 50% retracement off which it bounced. So it was a very, very interesting area. And I was watching actually for a long as it set that particular support level where, let me just pull up a chart real quick
Okay.
to give you some prices. Okay, so the 50% retracement was at around 113 level, 113 to 114 level, 114, 114.71, around that area. And it's quite nicely the way it's set up onto the weekly chart as it pulled back right into that 50% retracement, very close to that area, and quickly it developed that bottoming tail, and it actually traded through that magnet line of 38.2%. You can see that I'm a technical trader. Okay.
Correct.
And it's heading right now towards that 160 area. So that is my, I would say, small to medium term target on Tesla for now. And that's going to be a big barrier at around, I would say, 156, 156.50. That's going to be the decision time, I think, for Tesla, as it might continue higher to challenge the previous high that was set at 195.50, or it can actually turn around and develop into a downtrend onto the weekly chart. So that's going to be probably a decision time for Tesla.
Okay, but
Is this one you do have long right now, Tesla, or in your like those swing trades you were talking about?
Yes, yes, I do.
What other ones? Just curious if you don't mind sharing. What other swing trades are you in right now? And like, because I like this target analysis as well that you're giving.
Okay, I'm in a little baby stock. It's called RAD, Rite Aid.
We just talked about Rite
I
Aid.
know.
Are you long
I
it?
know. And I picked this stock up at $5.50. It was
Ooh, good
a
pickup.
really nice breakout onto the weekly chart and the daily chart. I had a 50-cent stop on it, so my entry was 5.50 and my stop was below 5. and I do see it higher. I love, and I love the monthly chart. I think, and as we're approaching, the end of the year with window dressing and all that good stuff, I think this still has some power into it, and I think it can still go higher, continue a little bit higher. And it's ignoring the market. It's totally ignoring the market. It's just the perfect energizer bunny.
What's your target on this Rite Aid?
I have a target at 650 as $7 and 7.45.
Well,
So you like to scale out of things. So just
Yeah.
yep. So just looking, just going back to something that we were talking about here. I'm not sure if you're going to trade it today, but we've had a lot of news, a lot of action in J.C. Penney. Not that you're necessarily going to trade this today, but surely like to hear your interpretation of the action so far.
Oh, absolutely. I think JCPenney continues to be weak. I don't know if this is just just another retracement into the $10 area, and I think $10 is kind of like a real resistance for this stock. I think that if it trades below $9.50, it can continue into $9, and if it breaks the $9, I think it's going to go back to 8, and even visit the previous low at around 624, around that area. So I'm not very bullish on this one right now. It is into an hourly support at this level at around 950, and I'm not too thrilled about it to go long on this one.
So
yeah.
were you looking in the pre-market? I mean, this thing got up to
Mhm.
1086. Do you trade in the pre-market at all? I mean, if it's that far away from your shorting level, would you take advantage of the pre-market trading and get out there and pop some bids up there?
No, I don't do any pre-market trading.
Okay.
And there's a lot of risk, obviously, in the
Yeah.
pre-market too, because the chart's completely changed here from when me and Joel were analyzing it an hour ago. It was trading up at like 10:30, 10:40, which would
Hmm.
have been a breakout for the stock because we were talking about this major resistance at
Hmm.
10:22, 10:17, 10:21. That obviously didn't happen here. So that,
Right.
even though it had a pre-market breakout, it's not going to get one. It doesn't look like in the regular session. You have the Wells Fargo note knocking it back down here now, and I think you're exactly right. I think this $10 becomes like a wall here now. We were just talking when we started the show. It was up at 9.95. It's now down at 9.77, and I think they're going to line up here at $10. And where that triple top there looked like it might be breaking out, now it looks like that holds, and that's kind of a bearish sign here too. So I'm kind of leaning your way too here on the bearish thesis in JC Penney all of a sudden.
And one final note on that, and we talk about this a lot on the show here, is that the pre-market trading. If you can use it for a target, like let's say you had a target at 1050 in this JC Penney, and it hit that. It didn't hit it very fast, but it's always good if you have a target or a trade that you want to get out of,
Exit a
and it
trade.
hits it. Yeah, exit the trade. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, you would have been lamenting when it went up to 1086, but now you're looking like the king of England.
Okay. Anka, you have a lot of trading courses here. You're actually doing a free webinar apparently tomorrow here. Fast track your swing and position trading with one simple strategy. And that's today at 4:30 here. What are you going to be talking about in this webinar today?
I will be sharing one of my strategies, a very, very simple strategy. And it's actually a strategy because we talked about Rite Aid. It is a strategy that helped me identify this trade and also identified the Apple breakout.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just pulling up the chart real quick of Apple. And actually, when I was creating this presentation last week, I was talking about a breakout in Apple right above 530,
I knew you were going to say
530.
that. I knew you were going to say 530. It traded, and we talked about this on the show. It traded between what 512. It had to spike up after earnings, and it had to spike down, and then it stayed between 512 and 530. I think I put this out. I think eight for like 18 sessions, and I'm like, okay, if this gets above 530. I'm gonna buy it, and then I'm looking. Oh, it's at 535. I can't buy it at 535. Oh, it's at 540. I can't buy it at 540.
I know.
Oh,
Never gave you a second chance.
yeah, but so
Is this one you're still in? Apple?
Yes.
Where's the target on this one? Just because we have a lot of guys that trade Apple.
Into the 600.
Oh, you're
She's
long term.
bullish. Oh
She's a
man, we got
long term.
we got to get her off the show. She's way too bullish for us.
As well. It seems to be working very well for her. So
Well, to be very honest, I think it does have a little bit of room, but we need the market for this, and we need the market momentum. And of course, I'm ready to trail. I usually, and not usually, but I trail all my stocks. And
yeah.
usually, let's say if I take a trade on the weekly time frame, as it hits my targeted one level, I zoom in one time frame at a time. So I go to the daily chart and then try to trail on that particular chart, pivot by pivot. So I, kind of book some profits and don't leave anything on the table.
Okay, what you teach several different courses, and just if there is there one common theme that you have, like what's the most important thing you teach in your courses?
I think one of the most important things is the technical analysis. I also always like to emphasize on technical analysis and money management, which is super, super important. And these are the two things that I really focus on and I really emphasize on for trade. And I think that's very, very important. And of course, reinforced with a lot of discipline. You have to have the patience, just like you mentioned earlier. Like, if it took off without you, you're not going to chase it. You're not just going to jump in $5 later or even 20 cents later. You missed it, you missed it. You're going to have to wait for another opportunity or just move on to another stock. There are, thousands of stocks out there from you can choose from.
Okay, so you told us about some pretty good trades, the Rite Aid and the Apple. What's your next idea? What are you cooking up over there for us, Anka?
Okay, so I'm watching right now. I'm watching Autodesk. And of course, I'm gonna watch the market momentum as the market is gonna open right now and see how it digests all this news that came out at 8:30. But I'm watching Autodesk and I like it long here, over $46. With that, I would say like kind of like a soft stop right below $45 area for a swing trade, and the range is formed at a previous resistance on a monthly chart. And I think the more it consolidates here, the more odds it'll have to continue higher. But again, I'm going to wait for the market on this one. And I see targets into 46.76, into $47, even $48. And there's also an opportunity for day traders, I think, here, and I'm going to watch it at market open. And I will look actually for a breakout over $46. And pre-market, I see it a little bit wiggle around that area. And I'm going to look for a protective stop below the 15-minute support area, which is, I would say, approximate 46.60. So I'm going to watch Autodesk at the open. I also am watching Walmart, WMT.
it's dividend today.
Yeah. And I like it as a day trade as well. I'm going to watch it. I see it trading right now at 80.72. And I'm going to watch this one to see if it trades higher and try to take out 81.30, the previous high. And kind of like watching to see if this area of support will hold here. So this one is definitely on my radar. I would say STX has been a real power trend this year. And to be very honest, I've missed every possible entry on this trade. But I'm watching this for a swing and core position. I think it is very bullish. And I like the weekly range on it. I think it has more upside to it, especially that window dressing is coming up right now. QCOM, I think, also is bullish, and I see it. I see it has somewhat a potential of continuing higher. So there you go. Some market stocks. Also looking at CLAC. I think it overall has a quite bullish pattern, but it really needs to trade over 64.50. So that's going to be on the watch list, 64.50, 64.60. So this is what I'm going to watch for. I also have on my list MGM, just pulling the chart real quick.
Are you bearish anything?
I'm sorry.
I,
Yes, I do. I am bearish,
It sounds
actually.
to me like you're kind of like Chris in this way. We had Chris Banny on the show a week and a half ago, and he was saying he buys strong stocks and sells weak stocks. So he's never afraid to buy a stock making a new high. And it sounds to me like just from your setup that you kind of subscribe to that same theory, which is actually counterintuitive to how new investors think. They always want to buy low. They want to buy on the cheap, and then try to and it's actually it works seems to work better, especially in this momentum market that we're in. That you actually aren't afraid to buy the highs. Chris always says it's because there's no pain up there. Nobody's been up there before. So stocks can just continue to move higher because nobody's got reference points where, well, if it ever gets back here, I'll sell. Well, that doesn't happen when you have a stock making a new 52-week high or a new all-time high. Do you agree with that? Is that kind of how
I
you as
absolutely
well?
agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. And the market has proved that that theory is right because every pullback was Bible, and the market like the spies into new highs and Dow, and we have perfect examples. And I think it does have room to move higher and even faster because we don't, like you've mentioned, we don't have a reference point. We don't have any resistance. So it's into the clear, into a tradable void.
okay, well, we got to move on to our headlines another minute here, but we would just like to get your final tips for, I guess, for new traders and also, people that've been in the markets for a long time, and just give us your final tips for traders out there.
Okay, I think the best tip that I can get out there is to get educated before you decide to enter the market and before you decide to invest. I think you really need to get educated. And, bottom line is you're going to pay either way, whether you pay for your education or just become a liquidity provider for the market, and chances are you can preserve your capital by getting educated first. And I think this is important. And another thing would be that goes hand in hand with this one is once you get your proper education, have realistic expectations. You're going up against the best in the world, the best industry, so don't go unarmed. Okay, and find a good mentor that you can follow and you can learn from until you get confidence to trade. And I think you guys are doing such a great and amazing thing with Market Find, with Benzinga educating people, and they should continue to listen to you guys.
Okay, all right. We'll see how that turns out.
Excellent.
But Anka, thank you. You had the distinction of being the first female guest here on Benzinga's Pre-Market Info by Options House, and it's nice to hear your chipper voice and your outlook on the market. And we'd certainly like to have you back again.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, have a good day.
Thanks,
Okay,
Anka.
yeah, we're
Thank
good.
you. Happy trading, guys.
Okay.